So hi, I'm James Krause from Scene Magazine, and I'm here with the really kind of the music crew from for the Nightmakers Ball this weekend. We've got Drummer versus Emulator, Tesla Orchestra, and the other DJ, Jason Karikas. Jason, what do you go by?
I go by Captain PlanetIT.
Captain Planet, cool, cool, cool. So really what we wanted to do here is kind of get everyone together, kind of talking about this amazing collaboration between really live music and a Tesla coil from the Tesla Orchestra. A lot of people know about Tesla Orchestra and have seen you guys perform before. How is this going to be different?
Oh, this is going to be wild. What you're going to see is an amazingly large Tesla coil, just about as big as you could possibly fit inside that building in the screw factory that we're going to be performing in. And not only that, on top of seeing 500,000 volt sparks shoot out of this Tesla coil, tuned so that they make music, the music is going to be controlled by Drummer vs. Emulator, and it's going to be controlled by DJ Captain Planet. And they're going to have the opportunity to play their own music through lightning bolts. So I hope that they're excited about that. We're excited about that, and we're looking forward to Saturday.
Awesome, awesome. I want to kind of get into a little bit about Drummer versus Emulator. We've got Chris Carrizales, Justin Drake, and Michael Drum. Do you guys want to kind of just talk a little bit about what you do and kind of what your act is like, and how that kind of fits into what Tesla Orchestra is doing?
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and field a little part of this. Drummer vs. Simulator, something, a concept that Chris Kurtz from the Media Twist group came up with about 3 years ago. And my thing is I wanted to infuse technology with old school music, old performances, because I know the whole DJ thing blew up and is real big, and there's a lot of success with festivals and things like that. People pay a lot of money to see these people, and they pay a lot of money to see these people perform. And there's been a lot of GoPro videos and just other videos and things that have happened at shows that people have caught on to that have really busted these other DJs and called a lot of them out, as far as just playing pre-recorded sets, or just having something already, an hour set already on it, and they're just playing and them acting like they're doing stuff. And with the amount of money that people pay for festivals, I think that they deserve a real live performance, because ultimately that's what they're paying for and that's what they want to see. So we came up with the idea of adding a live drummer into our set and into our show, and so that's what we did. And then we just kind of we hooked up with Monster Jam and started touring stadiums and arenas all across the entire world with Monster Jam. And there was we decided to step it up even a little bit more, so we came up with the concept for the helmet and the suits all covered in LEDs that chase and flash and just real visual. I DJ on it's called the Emulator, completely see-through dual view touchscreen, and we thought that would be a good addition to just to bring the whole visual aspect in with the drums, because really, man, when you take in our show, it's a show that hits all senses and can hit all range of people. It doesn't matter whether you're 8 or 80. If you come to our show, you're gonna love it, and you're gonna have one of the best times you've ever had at a performance ever, because we give it our all, we lay it all out there, and we do it every single time. And we love what we do, and we love all facets of music and all kinds of music, and we consider ourselves to be the evolution of EDM, where EDM is going to have to go in order to keep progressing and keep growing the way that it has the last 5-10 years. It's just absolutely exploded. If if you look at the first 3 EDC events ever, you know what I mean? There's like, I mean, it's like in a parking lot with, you know, hardly anybody, you know, and now they've, you know, they've hundreds of thousands of people that show up to their festivals and stuff every year. And it's, you know, it has a lot to do with mainstream stuff and, you know, electronic music kind of getting into mainstream a little bit more. But we just, we felt the need, you know, to step it up just for fans of music and for fans of electronic music and fans of rock music and fans of country music and fans of rap music. And, you know, it includes all of that, and that's the beauty of our project, is that we can play anywhere to anybody, and everybody will have a great time.
Cool. You guys had come through town last weekend and had a chance to meet up with Ian and his crew. Someone want to just kind of describe just first impressions of seeing the Coils and just what that exchange was like?
Well, I do know that when we left the meeting that I said that I'm pretty sure those are the 2 smartest dudes that we've ever spoke to in our entire life. But no, it's really impressive stuff. You know what I mean? Drummer versus Emulator cares so much about being visual as much as we do, you know, the music, that to have something like the Tesla Coils, you know, is like throwing a trump card, man. It's something that I've never seen. So it's gonna be really exciting to hook it up to us, man.
Well, I think what's interesting is that, and Ian, you might want to speak to this, but I think that when people see the Tesla Coils, at first there's that visual on it, but there's also this, they pack a real punch, like just audio-wise too.
Yeah, and you need to see a Tesla Coil live. You know, if you see a video of someone going through a haunted house, it is not very scary. It's not a visceral experience. But if you go through the haunted house, it's a real experience. And the Tesla Coils are the same way. Those sparks can do some major bodily harm. And when you see them, especially what you're going to see on Saturday, is you're going to see a Tesla Coil inside a steel cage. And the audience is going to get up to within a few feet of this steel cage that's getting hit by 500,000 volts of electricity. It's loud, and it's a very visceral experience when you are right next to that bit of danger. I think it's the same thrill that people get when they're skydiving or when they're doing an extreme sport. When you're that close to basically lightning, it excites you. You know, it excites a part of your mind that's very sort of old and tribal, like the lizard or reptile part of our brain's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And that's when you combine that with the amazing show that Drummer vs. Emulator, I got to see them at Ingenuity Fest just earlier on this month. I can't wait to see this in person. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's you know, that combination of you know, Ian, what you said about, like, you know, losing yourself. I think that's what, you know, people go to a lot of dance clubs or the whole thing around, like, EDM is that it really is kind of about people losing themselves. I mean, is that for you guys, like, when you're performing, is that a big part of what, you know, how you're reacting to the audience?
Yeah, I definitely lose myself when I'm performing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
like I'm in my own world, you know. I mean, it's you know, for me, it's my comfort place. It's my most comfortable place. So, you know, we definitely transform into somebody else. I'm a quiet guy all day long, and you put me on stage, and I'm a lunatic, you know. So it's just what music does for you.
Yeah, and I, you know, I'm the same exact way as Mike, man.
Cool. I want to get Jason. You're you know, as a DJ, you're also playing with the Tesla Coils. You know, I think that, you know, this is the Nightmaker's Ball, and I think that you're interesting because you're a DJ, but you're also a maker. You want to talk a little bit about kind of your rig and what you're bringing there, and then also just any thoughts you have on playing with the Coils, the Coil.
Yeah, my last semester at Ohio University, I took an independent study in electronic music, which is totally outside of my curriculum. I studied network administration, and I wanted to build a MIDI controller, and I had no prior knowledge to electrical engineering at all. I just sort of dove in head first and Googled for hours. And you know, if you Google enough and you just try it, you're going to fail a lot, but eventually you're going to get it, and it feels pretty sweet. But as you're learning how to do what you're trying to do in the first place, you come across all these other things. So I found out about all of this open source hardware like Arduinos, Raspberry Pis. I acquired a 3D printer, and I've been getting a lot better at that. Definitely something that you have to work towards. But for any of that, you know, I had been DJing and producing some music for a few years, so I've always been pretty musically, and I completely agree with trying to step outside of the beaten path when it comes to electronic music. Not to say that there's nothing wrong with like going with the classics. I mean, that's sort of what I like to do, but also put a bit more of a futuristic sort of melody and beat on top of that. So you have worlds, and I like to mix those live, a bit more complex than just mixing one track into another track. And this is something that, I mean, I've never heard of anybody doing before. You know, playing music with lightning. It's pretty awesome.
Besides the coils, you're creating a kind of an object there that for the Nightmaker's Ball that's interactive. Do you want to describe that a little bit?
Yeah. A few weeks ago, months, I suppose now, at Ingenuity Festival, I hosted a silent disco, and my friends at Buck had a really cool looking bike that I put a ton of LEDs on, and it just was, I mean, it was pretty bright, especially if you're standing next to it all night long. And there's definitely a visual factor that goes into any sort of EDM performance, but I like sort of experiment with things I've never seen before, and that is the first time I had it. I had synchronized the lights in two groups with either DJ, because there was two DJs playing at a time, but everybody has wireless headphones that allows them to choose who they want to listen to. So I had to come up with two light shows with no music while I was performing myself, and that is my first the first successful experiment that I had with it. And I went back and pulling from just trying to iterate on that design and make it a bit more engaging for everybody there. So I connected those lights to a network hosted on a Raspberry Pi, and anybody at the party will be able to log on to this Wi-Fi network, and through a web app they can choose what they want the lights on this bike to do. I've also added more lights, of course. So.
Cool. Yeah, so something interactive.
Yeah.
I kind of want to kind of throw this out to the group too. I mean, you're seeing this weird combination now between people coming to a show like this, and this combination of costumes, lights, technology, and music. I mean, is that just the age we live in, or is it some direction music's going?
I mean, I think what it all boils down to is, people want to be entertained, and they want a performance. They know that it's basically any show you go to and any performer that you see on stage, um, is really like, it's almost like seeing an actor in a play or something. Like Mike said, like Mike touched on earlier, that when you're away from that and you're not in that in the moment, you're a normal person like everybody else. You're calm and you're laid back. You're not the same animal you appear to be on stage. But once you get on that stage, man, it's a feeling that goes through your whole body. It's almost like you're standing underneath the Tesla coil and it's shooting you right in the top of the head. And you just get this feeling inside of you, man, and it just transforms you almost into a different person. While you're on that stage and while you're performing, and then the more the crowd's going crazy, and then the more they interact with you, then the more it builds, and people just now, especially in the age of technology, and with Facebook and YouTube and just all the viral videos and Vine and Instagram and everything that goes on, man, it takes a lot to entertain people nowadays.
I think EDM alone is technology, so it just wouldn't make sense if there wasn't the newest in technology with lights as well when you're watching an EDM show.
Right.
EDM to me is energy, so you can't have energy without crazy lights, man.
Right.
We're also
go ahead.
yeah, we're also in a different era. We're in an era today where with a couple clicks and a couple tippy types in Google, just like Jason's experience in sort of taking hold of the reins of technology and making his own thing that could appear on stage. In the past, special effects were the realm of a big production company, and today with Google, with the ability to make things on your own, with the whole maker movement, you can take hold of the reins of technology, and a group that does not have a $1 million show production budget can make amazing things happen on the stage. So I think it's a sign of the times that we're seeing this on the stage.
Absolutely.
Michael Drum, I wanted to just kind of segue into that and talk a little bit about. I think you were playing some music before and sort of like showing how the I think it was the MIDI files for the Tesla coils were actually impacting the music in some way. Can you talk a little bit about that and maybe?
Well, we had the opportunity this past Sunday to stop in and check out the coils, and I kind of paid attention to the actual tone that they make. So I've got some songs that some originals that Drummer vs. Emulator has been working on, and one in particular has a part in it that I had pre-recorded before that actually sounds kind of like Tesla coils, so that I think it's going to sound good.
Cool.
I can play a glimpse of it. I'll play a little piece of it, and then I'll bring in the rest of the music so you can so you'll hear like what the coil will be playing and then what will be playing. So this is just a preview of what I've just started working on tonight for the coils. I feel like the coils kind of sound like bagpipes almost. So the coils will be doing this, and then when you hear it mixed with DVD, it's going to sound something like this.
You guys hear me?
Yeah. You just gave me the idea to next time we need to bring some bagpipers in too.
I
That
know,
would be
I know
awesome.
some guys that blow some flames out of bagpipes. We should get those guys involved.
Yeah, no, it's really true. I mean, the I think you really captured the tone of the coil, and yeah, I think that's really interesting. Um, the Ian, have you ever heard the coils compared to bagpipes before?
Not in this lifetime.
It's really, I think it's a great analogy.
Really, really loud.
It is very close to it.
That's really funny. Well, I feel like we've had Chris sitting over here, and Chris, you have anything you want to add to this conversation?
No, I think I kind of missed a lot of it. I like lost you guys for a second, but I mean, if there's anything that I will add to what's going on, it's I give both groups applaud for the fact that they're bringing this project together. I think it's a really good, innovative thing to do as far as getting this out into like other people's reach for like between Drummer versus Emulator and the Tesla Coil Orchestra, and especially with Captain Planet. I mean, it's just a really good, innovative show. I just think that the science behind the ingenuity with the coils and the LED lights and stuff of Drummer versus Emulator, and along with the balloons, I just think everything that goes on for Saturday's show is just going to be amazing. I mean, it's comparison for me. I always told these guys, and I told Ian and them earlier, it reminds me of like Harry Houdini back in like the early 1900s, where he would go out and do magic on the side of the street, and you'd gain your crowd by just how interesting the show could be made. So, overall, that's my whole opinion to the combining of the elements of all three of these groups that are about to go out there. So, yeah.
Ian,
A lot of people are.
you're pretty tapped into the world of Tesla coils. Is there a lot out there that combines live music and the coils together? I know that there's musical Tesla coils, but
Well, worldwide, there's about 6 musical Tesla coil groups. There's one in Los Angeles, run by Jeff Farrisee. There's one in Australia. There's one in London. There was one in Chicago that's now either in LA or Austin. I forget where that guy moved. There's one in Austin, Texas. The best one is in Cleveland, Ohio. They've got the world's largest twin musical Tesla coils. They're the nicest guys. They care the most about safety, and they care the most about the performance. So I happen to be a little biased as one of the leaders of that group. But it's common for Tesla coil shows to be pre-recorded, and maybe that's a little bit like what Justin or Mike was saying earlier about the GoPro video surfacing of a DJ just kind of playing Winamp, and it's not a show. The Tesla coil sparks themselves are really impressive. They have a visceral feeling to them, but it's a gimmick, and you need a real show. You need real music. You need lights. You need a story. That's what the head guy behind LCD Sound System famously said. It's not just music. It's lights and it's sound and it's a story, and the story is the performance. So I'm excited to see this as a live audience performance. The Winamp generation, the MP3 generation has not done well for the sales of CDs, and the money in music right now and the passion in music right now and the excitement is in real live shows. People are going to live shows just as much, if not more, than they did in decades past, and it's because of that visceral, lose yourself, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening right now kind of feeling that you can get inside you. You can't get that same feeling sitting at home alone listening to a CD or listening to your computer. It doesn't compare. It doesn't compare socially. We're a social world right now. We want to be there taking selfies with our friends at the coolest thing we've been to and showing that off to our friends online. That whole ball of experience is what you get at a live performance. And with the combination of groups you're going to see on Saturday, we're going to bring it pretty hard.
And speaking of selfies, are we going to see the proton gun on Saturday?
Yeah, that's kind of a new thing. In case anyone hasn't seen it,
it's got it.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned that to Drummer vs. Emulator. I was going to have it be kind of a surprise, but cat's out of the bag now.
What?
So
who's getting who's
What's
getting
this? I get a gun? Is that what you're saying? I get a gun?
So if you saw the movie Ghostbusters, and this is the 30th anniversary this year, the 30th anniversary of the release of Ghostbusters, which came out in 1984. They had a proton pack. Egon made this proton pack. Remember, Don't Cross the Streams? They used them to trap Slimer and some other ghouls.
Right.
But we thought this was a good time to make your own proton pack. There's only 5 of these things that exist in the world. It's a brand new thing in the Tesla coil universe where people make Tesla coils that strap onto their bodies. So there's a backpack that has the sort of power supply, I'll call it, and then the Tesla coil is mounted right to your arm. So these bolts of lightning shoot out of your, kind of like your fingertips, just like a Grecian myth, or just like Star Wars.
So is this
how did shot those things at his fingers?
That's awesome.
I was
So we're
so
gonna
concerned
go for
I
the hoverboard.
wouldn't be able to leave the house with the Tesla coil, but now that I can finally take one with me wherever I go, it's a huge weight off of my shoulders, you know?
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I think that other kind of elements that are going to be there. We've got a guy who holds one of the world records in the world's largest bubbles, so people can dance in their own bubbles. We've got some Cleveland Institute of Art students who have created illuminated costumes. We've got a roller skater, umbrella juggling, all kinds of things going on. So it's going to be quite a night. Should be a lot of fun. Well, thanks everyone for staying up late to do this. I know that everyone's busy right now, getting ready for Saturday. Nightmaker's Ball on Saturday night from 8 to 1 a.m. At the Lake Erie building, or the Screw Factory as it's better known. Get your tickets. Come on out. It should be a great time. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you Saturday.
Absolutely. Thank you.